However, my mother took a shine to him, invited him to spend the night sharing sleeping accommodations with I, instead of his trying to head back to his base late at night. We sat up in the kitchen talking till about 2 a.m. when my mother came in and said, "Enough, time to go to sleep." The next day, my cousin Rosalind and I went to see him off at Grand Central Station. It was then that I had a feeling something special had happened and already missed him. We spoke on the phone often, and his next visit was for Thanksgiving weekend when he proposed. It was my mother who actually felt he was the one for me, but it was my brother who I talked to and asked his permission. I went to Cleveland to meet his parents and family, where I was welcomed with open arms. We were officially engaged on my 21st birthday. He was transferred to a base in Chicago, and I went there, staying at the YMCA where they had special floors for women. We were married on August 6, 1944 in Cleveland because my father-in-law wasn't well at the time and couldn't travel. Ours was a beautiful garden wedding held in their backyard and a honeymoon on the lower berth of a train back to Chicago.
Wow.
Let me get the other page ready. You getting tired of listening?
No.
Turn the page. Wait, just like that. Okay, I'm back. His stint with the Naval Department involved being transferred at times, and I often followed. There was Manio, North Carolina, when I found I could manage for a month with the clothes I had in an overnight bag, because the small trunk I had shipped out, which included pots and dishes besides clothes, had been sent to some sailor at another base, and I received his trunk. While in Astoria, Oregon, which was a longer stay, I got a job doing auditing for the county courthouse. Got to see a little more of the country traveling around like that and going back to New York in between transfers. After the war, Moish was offered a position if he would stay on as an instructor, where they would give us living conditions as well as a job for me in Hawaii. I thought it would be great, but he said that's no way for good religious people to live. After his discharge from the service, we settled in Cleveland, first in a shared apartment with Uncle Morty, who had just gotten out of the Army, and Aunt Florence. Apartments were a scarcity at that time. Then I was pregnant. We got an apartment on Lakeview Road. Our first business venture was the Artisan Wood Company, which Moishe went into with Uncle Yussel. Some very good ideas, lots of work, but no success. He eventually took a job with Cleveland Orthopedic Company, starting at the bottom, and also attending Fenn College, passed his exams, and got his certification. He was with the company for many years, learned the business, and when his former employer died, he, together with some others, bought it from the family. Our first child was Yosef Leib, followed 2 years later by Leah Miriam. We moved to Templin Avenue, a larger apartment, and Eudice Rachel was born the following year. My brother had married, Mom stopped working, and she came to live with us. We eventually bought our first house on Redwood Road in Cleveland Heights. When Eudice was about 3½, I took a job at the JCC part-time, enrolled her in the nursery. I did statistics for them until I became pregnant, and Esther joined our family. My mother died a couple of years after that, and when the children were much older and all in school, we moved to our second home on Bendemeer Road. I was active in Young Israel and Amit Women, as well as B'nai Akiva, which involved the children. Our company, Cleveland Orthopedics, thrived. Uncle Sidney was a partner for a while, and Uncle Yussel worked there too. Leah, on her own, was the first to make Aliyah, and the last to marry. She and Hannah had 2 children. Eudice, who was the first to marry, and she and Menachem had 3 children and eventually made Aliyah. Yosef joined the company, and then he married Paula, had 5 children, had remained in Cleveland, all except for Minnie, who made Aliyah on her own. Esther became a speech therapist. What is this? Okay. Is it working? Yeah. Okay. Where was I up to? Esther became a speech therapist, married Doug, and 3 children in Cleveland. Made Aliyah. This isn't working.
Yes, it is working.
Made Aliyah after a number of years, and Ariella was their Sabra. You know what? Take this away. I'm not finished. That doesn't work. I think. Okay. I think we lived a wonderful life, and many things happened to change our lives. We often spoke of Aliyah, but kept on putting it off. However, when Yosef passed away, and we could no longer keep the company going, we decided to finally come to Israel to be with our daughters and their families. We came in October of 1995, had a wonderful couple of years here when Moshe had a stroke. He did very well for a while, then passed away in February 2000. Also my brother in May of the same year, and then Leah 4 years later. I don't mean to bore you with all these details. Okay, is that working? I don't mean to bore you with all these details. There's a lot more that I included in my memoirs, which I'm still working on. But I feel I have learned a lot in my lifetime. I've learned to understand and accept the happenings in life, which made me strong physically, emotionally, and mentally. Though I might have a slight physical disability, I do keep myself busy by attending a senior group of activities. I play a mean game of mahjong with friends, crochet blankets for the little ones, and even do a little cooking once in a while. I enjoy and delight in the number of great-grandchildren you've given me, and I love the family closeness that all of you show. And again, I want to thank all of you for sharing this special birthday with me.